Better. All right, chat. So let's start. Let's start. We're going to do our group in the middle. But I think it's easiest to start with the strongest groups. So I'm going to say some things, right? I'm going to say a few things right now. Number one, I'm not only ranking groups based off their strength, which will be a very, very, very massive decisive factor on your ranking, but also the way you incorporate RP into things, right? So if I were to say just strength alone, we could, I mean, the thing about it is you could do two different lists. Strength is different than just the way they RP. I think every group has a good RP though. But like the way they incorporate RP into their things is, you know. But let's start with right now strongest group. Obviously the strongest gangs in the city, the ones that even my gang are afraid to fight. The number one gang in the city right now because of the way they handle things, the way they run their organization, just the way they have like their strength, right? Obviously the number one gang is Chang gang, right? There's no doubt in my mind. Anyone who doesn't put Chang gang as the number one gang right now is just out of their mind. When it comes to sheer power and numbers and organization due to forced organization, another S tier gang, one of the strongest in the city, is... I'm not seeing it here. Oh, right here. I think this is it. The PD. They're actually, I would rank PD as the strongest gang in the city. PD is ridiculous. There is like, when you have 40 members that are able to constantly charge at you, there is nothing, almost nothing that can beat that. Even if their comms are bad and they have new members, everything like that. PD, when you have the right people on, is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. There's like, you try fighting Air 1, Air 2 with Sam Bass leading and 40 to 50 members rushing you. It's impossible. Unlimited emos, unlimited numbers, unlimited everything, right? Multiple departments. Extreme firepower. There's nothing that can beat that, right? On a sheer force base. So let's go. All right. Next up, let's talk about A tier gangs because I don't think there's very many other S tier gangs. S is like there's a lot of tiers here, and I would say those are probably some of the only S tier gangs. Now, when we get to A, there's a lot of very, very powerful gangs here. Obviously, Hydra is one that is feared, and you don't really fuck with Hydra because when you fuck with Hydra, I'm just gonna say this straight up, you mess with the trifecta of gangs: Street Team, Chain Gang, and Hydra, right? Sure, Hydra is amazing on its own. They have strong members, but it also comes with the relationships that they have built up through the city, their connections, their business connections with Chain Gang, which leaves them with immense power and like money when it comes to connections. And it's just like, you know, difficult to deal with that, right? They got the umbrella of gangs that really make them like strong, right? And but obviously they have a good leader, they have good people in Hydra, but as far as I know, I don't know everyone in Hydra, but the people I do know are good, right? Other A tier gangs, obviously, I have a lot of respect for the Vagos. The Vagos have been around for a very long time. Their command structure is clean. They're one of the oldest gangs in the city. Speedy is a just magnificent person, and just their gang is strong. You don't mess with the Vagos, right? I love the Vagos. I think they're just a great RP gang too. They're fun to interact with. I just enjoy every encounter with them for the most part. They're just great grip. Let's see. Let's go next. See, think about this is there's not many very like. It's also kind of difficult to see what some of these are. I don't. This is. I don't know what that is. All right. Let's go next. So, because this group is here, I'm biased. I'm going to put it later. God, there's a lot of things I can put. I just don't get why. All right. All right, let's carry on. Next up, guys, I'm going to be very honest. When it comes to groups you want to fear in the city, in terms of strength and the way they handle themselves, there are not many gangs in the city that can beat this group in terms of street fights and the way they handle themselves. They are incredibly patient. They've got strong members. They are probably some of the scariest people you could deal with. Any gang that fights this gang should be afraid. Very easy to say. I'm going to throw this group up out of respect for even us fighting them, and they made us better as players, right? Like as our peers, as fighters in the street, everything. I legitimately think the Grove Street Ballers are insane. Insane. To the point where I would actually list them probably like some of the highest in A tier. It is so difficult to kill one of them. Like, you shoot them 15, 20 times, they'll like get back up and start shooting you again. You know, like, it is crazy. They're mechanically strong. They're like great RPers. They got a lot of people in the gang. They stick around, you know, a lot. I don't want to throw too many groups in the A, but there are 2 more gangs I think I'm going to throw here. One of them being... Where is it? I can't see their logo. Out of respect for these guys, because the talent they have and the people that they like have in their group, and then just their strength in general. I've never fought them before, but I've seen them. I'm just gonna straight up say it. Gulag Gang is incredible at what they do. They are an A tier gang. They have proved time and time, even though they can't beat Chain Gang, it doesn't matter. That's not what you have to do. Gulag Gang is actually, in my personal opinion, a very strong gang. It is hard to say because, in my personal opinion, the thing that makes Gulag Gang a little bit weaker is their command structure. So, X is a wild card when it comes to GG. Marty will do a lot of work to organize things, to make sure, as much as he can, right? Organize things. I'm trying to think if they're A or B. Because of that. You know what? Let me think about this a little bit more. In terms of strength, they are A tier. In terms of organization, they're B tier. They're very powerful fighters, very powerful drivers, very powerful things like that. Their RP is amazing and immaculate, and I love interacting with them. Let me think about this a little bit more. I'm going to leave this one until later. The only thing about it is, when you have a group led by X, things get thrown astray a little bit. X is an incredible lad. I love him. He's literally a clean boy. He's one of my friends. I fucking love X. But when he leads the gang, he does some crazy stuff, right? He'll lead them into fights, and then he'll vanish, or he'll do some crazy stuff, and then let's think about that one a little bit more. All right, these two I'm gonna leave next to each other. All right, next up, let's move on from this because I think we can talk about it a little bit more. I don't like these groups. I'm biased towards CB, Gulag Gang, and Rust. I'm very biased towards them, right? So I'm gonna leave them to last to talk about them because I'm a member of CB and a member of Rust, right? let's talk about B tier in terms of their strength, their RP that they bring. I legitimately think one of the best groups when it comes to bringing RP in the server, even though they're not very strong, but they have been getting stronger recently. It's not the first person in B, but I'm gonna throw the Mandem. Mandem are amazing RPers. They open doors for so many people. They just interact with people in a great way. They are just a fantastic, fantastic group. I'm gonna throw probably the lead of B tier though is probably going to be BBMC. BBMC is one of the strongest gangs in the city. They have a very, very, very powerful front. They're organized. They have a bank account that has multiple gang funds in it. The problem with BBMC is that they, in my personal opinion, are too focused around Dundee. I think it will cause issues in the future, and it probably does cause issues to this day, where when Dundee wants something done, it is done, but it might be not to the benefit of everyone in his gang. Yeah, I would say Mandem have S tier RP, but strength is like probably C or D in this list, right? So that's why I want to throw them at B. Remember, this is not only in a list of strength, this is a list of RP plus strength. But yeah, I would definitely throw Bandai Boys to top of B. They are very strong. They're great RPers. They're extremely competent gang. Dundee's a good leader. Financially speaking, they're set up, but I do think they have some flaws when it comes to finances. I think they overspend. And I think even themselves, if they saw this, they'd be like, yeah, we do overspend a little bit, right? They probably incorporate too many funds into vehicles and probably too many funds into like fighting, which is fine. They probably like that. But like, I think it will lead to issues in the future. Let's see. B tier gangs. I don't know who the Saints are. I've heard they're new. The Hidden, I barely know anything about. Save Our Souls, I barely know anything about that. Royal Mafia. Mortel. I don't know what this is. Does anyone know what this is? It's MG? Okay. BSK, Aztecas, HOA. Oh god, HOA is definitely B tier. 100%. They're amazing. They are, by the way, B tier is good, guys. I don't want anyone to say like B tier is not good. Literally top gangs in the city. They're just, I don't want to place too many in the S and A tier because it would just be ridiculous, right? HOA incorporates so much incredible RP. They've literally turned Mirror Park into a place that people can actually go and do things. They have storefronts. They have stores that actually lead to amazing RP. They're great. What they do, they hold it down. Their leader is just a great person. Their members are great RPers. I think they're a fantastic gang. And I'm definitely going to throw another gang up here with them. I'm going to move Mandem right here because HOA is strong. And I'm going to move Seaside as one of the top B tier gangs. Seaside, even though, you know, I'm just gonna straight up say it, right? Like Russ and Seaside don't have the best relationships in RP. They're just a really strong gang. We fought against them. They made us better. They are ruthless in fights. They will wake up 2 hours before storm, get ready for combat, and immediately at tsunami, chase you down. Every single hour, every single minute, every single time they have the chance to, they will mess you up. And they won't stop. Seaside will continue hunting until like even when GSF was at war with Seaside, right? All they would do is they would hunt. They would sit there and they would hunt, even on their own turf. So definitely a strong gang. They are ruthless. They've got money. They got connections. They got benches. They've got experience, which is very important in the city. I think experience is one of the most like best thing. And they've good RP, right? They literally have 2 devs that like incorporate incredible RP into the server too. All right, let's get to, I think we could probably get more gangs into B, but let's get to C tier. C tier. I'm probably not going to use F and E. Maybe we'll use E, but I'm not going to use F. Okay, so I don't personally have enough opportunities to interact with this gang, but I think they're, I mean, I just think they have such amazing RP, but the fact that I don't interact with them, unfortunately, leaves it so I don't really get to say very much about them. I love Rudy. He's got a great experience, like great pass on the server. Reed is awesome. The people that I interact with for the Lost are just great people. I think they're definitely one of the strongest gangs in terms of like powerhouse when it comes to like, obviously they've got turf, they've holding it down. They've got a whole compound that's just absolutely one of the most insane compounds in the entire city. Hi Toby, how you doing today? Hi, how's it going, Toby? Yes, I'm making a game tier list because we hit a goal. But yes, Lost, because of my limited experience with them, I only have experiences with Cy Carter and Rudy. So I don't get to experience enough with them. So I can't really put them anywhere except in the middle. Right? I would say they're probably one of the best RPing groups in the server though. Okay. Let's move on from that. Is this the Clown Gang? Is this GSF? All right. Obviously, Merbo de Grande deserve a spot in either. I think there's. Fuck, man. I wish MG had a flag and were able to incorporate their presence on the server more. But unfortunately, they're actually limited by mechanics, so they can't do that. So unfortunately, even though they're a strong gang and they have such incredible RPers that are literally part of the Vagos Alliance, they do meetings. I think they're hilarious. I would incorporate them right now due to their limitations at C, but I think this could definitely be like a B/A in the future. It's just more so like they're limited right now, and I think in the future that could definitely change. But it's a great RP oriented gang, so I would throw them right next to Lost. I don't know what the pack is. I'm trying to figure out what some of these gangs are. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is. Oh, is it Jill? Oh. Okay. So I see Street Team here, but how many members of Street Team still exist? You have Jalen, who's the leader. You have Lil Bleach. Wait, actually. You have Jalen as the leader. You have the... Forehead left. Wait, what is Street Team? Wayne is the leader? Well, that's a meta unlock, and well, not meta unlock because I don't learn a character, but what? Well, they have a compound. I'm just gonna leave Street Team as D right now because I don't even know a single person in Street Team. But because of the fact that they're in the trifecta of Chang Gang and Hydra, I will leave them at D. The Angels. I think the Angels are underrated when it comes to their RP. But when it comes to strength, I think they're legitimately one of the weakest in the city. If not the... Because of their good RP though, even though they're weak, I will say that they're D. They have great RP. I love Banana. I think she's an amazing RPer. She's probably one of the most experienced people in the city. Incredibly easy to interact with. Unfortunately, I don't really know very many other people in the Angels. But yes, I would say D. A lot of people are saying F or whatever. Chat, they're not an F tier gang because they actually know how to RP. Like some of these gangs, I don't even know what they are. So I didn't even know the clown gang was a gang. I don't think the clowns, because they have funny, like they actually have good interactions with people, but I don't even see them as a gang. I would throw them E. I don't really know them as a gang. Aztecas, I would say that they have presence and they have good people that I've ran into. So I would throw them as D. But in terms of power, I'm not really sure too much. Mortel, I've ran into a lot of their members. I think they're hilarious. I think Sydney is a good leader, but I think they're definitely lacking fundamentally in a few aspects of organization. Maybe because they're a newer gang. Like I've heard complaints from even people that have left or people that have interacted. They've literally G-checked. They've had people that have G-checked. I know they're hang-arounds, but they've G-checked like actual Rust members. And did I say Sydney? I meant Sydney. Cindy. I would say D for Mortel, which is not bad. Definitely like they're solid. They're improving. What is this? Oh, is that NBC? Oh, NBC strong. NBC strong. NBC's up here. B tier for sure. NBC's ridiculous. Definitely one of the most difficult gangs in the city to fight. They are cracked shooters. They've got good RP. They've got an amazing turf. Incredibly smart when it comes to the location and the connections that they have. They literally have James Arsenal. Strong game. Yeah. Very strong. Very, very strong. I would say right here. All right, all right, all right. We're cutting it a little bit close to the end. So PD, Chain Gang, Hydra, Vagos, Ballas, BBMC, Seaside, NBC, HOA Mandem, The Lost, and we're with the Grande, Street Team Angels, Tickets Mortel. What is this? Mayhem, Complete Bay. Unfortunately, I don't hear anything about Mayhem, so I can't really say very much about them. I feel like they have good RPers, but they don't have the ability to interact with people because they're so far away that much. I would say they're E above the clowns. BSK? Honestly, BSK... Oh, man. When it comes to strength, I don't see BSK being strong at all. They get... I mean, I respect their dedication, but I remember it was literally like the Dons or something were hunting them down and they weren't around. Wait, the Kings. But they have, like... They will go in wars that will last a very, very, very long time. They definitely deserve to be in C or D. Either top of D or bottom of C. God, I never saw myself in a world where I'd rank BSK over Street Team. What have we come to? Street team's dead, Sag. Gulag Gang's up here, guys. Wait, oh, I haven't ranked Gulag Gang actually. I'm leaving these three to last. What is this gang? Royal Mafia. They are okay. Very lacking in organization. They don't have good connections. But they're trying their best to work on that. They've got good people in it, which is good. And they were actually our first war, but that quickly ended after we... I'm pretty sure we fought them even with like Kaiba in our group, and we were... Probably around here. Yeah, probably around there. All right. Santa Nova. I don't know very much about Santa Nova, but I've seen them around. I've seen them claiming turf. Although I will say they're very, very weak as far as I heard. They're kind of a newer gang, very new. They've established power as much as they can. I would say probably... I don't know if there's any gang that deserves to be F. All right, GSF. Let's do GSF. GSF is an unrelenting gang. As I heard from Summer, they don't really care about expanding their turf very much. They only care about staying within. Although the problem with GSF, in my personal opinion, is their organization. They have multiple OGs, and I think that leading a group like a gang through like a republic, and especially one that's not organized and has meetings constantly, is actually bad. And I think that leads to split decisions that actually leads to the downfall of a group in general. They have great RP, but it's very limited to their group, and they don't really expand it towards other areas off the block, which is, it's a Southside gang, so it's fine. In terms of strength, I think they're good at holding down their block due to their knowledge of the area, but they really don't leave the area. I would say they're definitely a C tier gang. I would say above BSK. I will say right now, they are well on their way to, unless CJ picks it up with the rest of them, they are, I don't know, man. I don't know like more than 2 people in GSF. I'm going to rank it below at BSK. The only... I'm still having issues with this. I don't know if they deserve that. I'm fixing this. Angels above Mafia for sure. Actually, at this point, I would say even Angels above Street Team. Not due to their strength, but the fact that who is Street Team right now? The Angels don't deserve that disrespect. GSF above Royal Mafia. Or below Street Team. Yeah, let's do that. That's better. There we go. Much better. Okay, we get a bunch of gangs left that I barely know who they are. I don't know what gang this is. Can someone help me with this? What are you doing this list by? Power, RP, a mix of power and RP. Sinister Souls? Oh, the group by the casino? Is that still a group? Are they still around? They got evicted? Oh. Okay. Rip. The Dons, a group that's led by Omar and someone else. A fairly new group in the city, kind of under the umbrella of GG. Relatively strong, very, very, like, they actually hunted BSK down and were beating BSK. So they are actually new, but they're doing better than BSK in regards to things. But in terms of their RP, they're still got a long way to go. So I would rank them probably around... I actually feel like they have a long way to go. They're good at shooting, but they need... I like Omar a lot, but they need to be more. Okay. I think it's fair. Royal Mafia. Dons broke off of Royal Mafia. Okay, there we go. That's fine with me. All right, Dons I think are better than Royal Mafia now. They kind of broke off a few of the members from Royal Mafia, and they took some of the better members, as far as I heard. Aztecas and Mortel are working their way up, but yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to get some of these gangs that I don't know very well. What is this? Save Our Souls. The Wastelanders actually have a lot of presence in Grapeseed, but the problem with it is I think they're at war with literally 4 gangs right now. But it's the Wastelanders that are far away. I heard they're good RPers though, and I'm not going to discredit them because of that. I would say D. I think they're D. But I've never had an interaction. E. I mean, at the bottom, that far down, D. Okay, let's do that. That's fine. What the hell are these groups? The Hidden. I don't know anything about the Hidden. Literally nothing. I've heard about them once. The Hidden. It's because they're hidden. Honestly, if you're a gang representing, like, or a group representing power, and I don't know what you are, I'm just gonna throw you there. I don't know who that is. For now. Maybe make a new section for people you don't know. There you go. There you go. The pack. The wolf pack. I don't know what that is. The blocks? I would have rated them higher beforehand, but now the blocks are kind of dead. Oh, the pack is the prison gang? Oh. Oh! Oh, they're great RPers. Oh my god, they're amazing RPers. They actually incite fear into people. That's... Yeah, I actually love this group. I'd say they have some of the best RPs in the city. They're literally stuck in jail and can make RP out of thin air. Awesome. I love the fact that they're able to do that. They're awesome. I fucking love that. I have so much respect that people can sit in a cell and literally RP out of nothing. Like, literally nothing. I respect that a lot. The blocks, I would rated them higher before, but the fact that I think the blocks now, I don't even see a single person for the blocks anymore. I would throw them bottom of D tier. Yeah, if you were to rate them as a jail gang, they're definitely an A tier jail gang. But you're rating them as in the city. All right. So let's see if this is right. I'm gonna correct some stuff. You got PD, chain gang. Next up, you have Hydra. In terms of like being the fact that it's connected to chain gang, very difficult to breach. They've got a massive compound, very, very strong. Vagos have such historical RP on the server, and to this day, around all the time, literally 24/7. They've got people in every storm, very strong gang. And not just that, like I literally never hear Vagos running into any issues with anything. They're just drug they're set up, organization they're set up. Like they get betrayed all the time, and they do still do great. I think they were at war with a gang recently, and they just held it down. Grove Street Ballers, I fought a war against them, and I have not had a war that difficult ever. Like that was a difficult war. And we set terms, and it was still difficult, but we learned so much. We became a stronger gang because of them, and I think to this day now we will fight gangs a different way. From now on, right? Bondi Boys, as I said, they're very strong, but they've got some issues when it comes to being too centered around one individual. I don't think they spread their wealth collaboratively enough, and I think they overspend, and it's leading to their downfall eventually. I definitely think they're top of B. Seaside, incredible RPers, great connections, insane amount of money, great fighters, definitely top of B. NBC, very strong, great connections. James Arsenal's and literally Guy Jones, all of them are very, very, very rich and great fighters. HOA, some of the best RPers in the city, literally made Mirror Park into a home of RP, have unlocked doors for many people in the city. Literally, I have so much respect for HOA, and the same thing with Mandem, dude. I love the Mandem. I think they bring some of the best like interactions I've had on the server. When I interact with the Mandem, I'm smiling all the time, man. I freaking love that group. Obviously not the strongest group in the city, but great interactions. S tier RPers. The Lost don't unfortunately have very many interactions with the Lost, but I do have a lot of respect for who they are in the server. Rudy's an incredible leader, and I think he trickles that down to the rest of his members quite well. The interactions I had with the Lost were like in my earlier Clean Boy days, where I remember the Groza first came around, and we were getting introduced to it by the Lost. It was me and Tony and like Buddha. And I remember us going to the warehouse and getting shown it. It was really cool RP. But since then, I haven't really had very many interactions. And that was before the compound. Remember with the Grande? They're limited by their mechanics, but they're just a great group. I have so much respect for what they do in the server. Great RPs. Some that like definitely S tier when it comes to RPing as a gang. BSK. A little bit on the weaker side in terms of their strength, but they are relentless. They will keep going for wars for months. The Pack, one of the best jail gangs in the entire city. The fact that they make RP out of thin air is nuts. The Angels, great RPers in terms of their strength. I would say actually very low. But as I said, they're very good because they lead RP in many, many storms. Street Team, I don't really know who they are anymore, but they do have members that are strong, and their connection to CG makes them stronger. GSF, a little bit falling apart recently. They've had a lot of their, groups essentially falling apart right now because of the fact that they have OGs retiring. They have a republic structure in a gang that makes decisions based off individual decisions. Like it's very weird how that gang operates. They're more revolved around sticking around the turf and RP around their area, which is fine. I think they're a strong gang when they support their own area. The Dons, newer gang, but they've really shown their strength under the umbrella of GG. Royal Mafia, been around for a while. They have claimed that like upper north area of Alta Street near the construction site. They're working their way up, but definitely D-tier. Aztecas, they claim the area right north of the Vagos barrio. Great RPers, right by that like PD that looks like the Batman PD. But yeah, I've had good interactions with the Aztecas. I actually like them a lot. Mortel, I've had a lot of great interactions with Cindy, and I love the Mortel actually, for the most part. Great RPers. The blocks, don't really see them around very much anymore, so I can't really say very much about them. But when they are around, they did bring good RP, and they're definitely more of an RP-oriented gang. Wastelanders, they claim the area in Grapeseed. They are, as far as I heard, they actually bring a lot of great RP to Grapeseed, but unfortunately, because I don't really have experience with them, I will put them as E, but I've heard about them. Why do I keep hearing the elevator open? Mayhem got screwed over recently because obviously they run the Paleto Bay area as the gang. Almost no one really goes to Paleto Bay anymore. They do have the restaurant up there, but yes, very, 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 very limited by the fact that almost no one goes there anymore. Santa Nova, new gang, claims this area that's like by the jewelry store. Every time I've seen them in a conflict, they haven't done very well. E tier, in my opinion. Clowns, I don't even consider the clowns a gang, so the fact that they're here is very interesting to me. But they're just our peers, right? And that gets left with a bunch of gangs that we don't know, which is the Hidden, the Saints, Save Our Souls, and then this gang, which was disbanded. All right, now we got 3 gangs left, which is my gang, my group, and the Gulag gang. All right, let's do this. This should be fun and unbiased whatsoever. Cool. Clean Boys. Clean Boys are not really a gang, more like a criminal organization. They are a group of people that bring incredible RP to the server, in my personal opinion. Their connections to the city is immense. You have literally a Buddha, one of the heads of Cerberus. You have Raymond Romanov, the head of Rust. You have Tony Corleone, the head of Redline. You have so many strong members. You know, the Shadow Leader, you know himself. X, the leader of GG. So many strong people in the gang, like group, that like collectively make it a powerhouse. When we're together, we're kind of Pepegas, which is kind of funny how that works. But it leads to some funny content and some amazing, amazing experiences that I would say lead to like just an improvement of overall RP in the server. When it comes to strength, I wouldn't really see us as like a gang. I mean, we have shooters, right? Like, who cares, right? Like, we have me and like X and Marty and stuff like that. Well, if you consider Marty CB, but Buddha and Tony and all the boys. I'm trying to think about this. Just connections alone, they are insane. I would put them. I would put them here. I don't think we're S tier because of our strength, right? We're not strong enough where we fight wars or anything, but just the connections alone is just, we have amazing connections to the city. And I think the RP that we bring is good enough that we just top at A tier. I really like the group. I love the Clean Boys. I love being a part of it. I think the connections and not just connect, the experiences that we bring to the city just make it a lot better. But I don't really think we fight wars or combat or anything like that. So I would just say A tier. All right. My gang. Actually, let's do my gang last. Let's do Gulag Gang. Gulag Gang. Woohoo, Gulag Gang. This is biased because I'm friends with Gulag Gang. I think Gulag Gang is either A or B. They're very strong, but their organization is ruled like... I talked to Marty about this recently. He's like, Ray, the last time I had a meeting was like, I don't think we've ever had a meeting. And I was like, well, how do you deal with people? He's like, we just kick people out. And I'm like, oh. It's just like the organization just seems very interesting to me, right? How that works. It's very self-destructive in its own way, right? That's the best way to describe it. Like, I think they are strong, but I think they're like very unstable because I don't know how to say this. Like, they're just incredibly strong gang, but they're just unstable, right? I would say they are, because of that, I would say they're actually the top of B. Bottom of A or top of B? I would say top of B. People keep saying Ming, but remember, Ming is like just joined the city. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I don't know. I would say top of B or the thing is, like, here's what I think a lot, right? How does a group operate without its leader? When Marty's not around, how strong and organized is GG? They've got. I don't know. That's a tough one for me because I'm biased too, because I want to throw them A. You know what? I'll throw them A. I think I'm biased though. My biasness wants me to throw them as A because I like GG. I like that they're my friends. Um, I think with the addition of Forehead to GG, it's like a really good one. It brings a lot of RP. He's a hilarious RPer. I think I'm gonna say this straight up. I legitimately think that my son, I'm trying to remember his name because I'm cooked right now. Larry is one of the best RPers in the server. The guy's hilarious. I think he says some out of pocket things sometimes, but it's funny as hell. Um, I like. Now the problem is, where do I place my own group? I think Rust has tremendously improved recently. I think they've legitimately fought wars without me. The organization has taken a step onto another level. Construction is happening soon. We have ridiculously rich members now, like to the point where like we have someone with like $9 million. We have some people with 8, 7 million. Like when I say like AU EU tsunami and when we're full power, I don't think there's very many groups that could fight us. Like full hearted, which is like saying something. I think we do have our own personal issues when it comes to maybe having too many meetings, but is that a bad thing? Not really. I think it means that we spend a lot more time to like consider people's issues and we take those into granted. I think because of the origin of the fact that we were a heist group that developed into a gang, like has led to like people having issues being included and stuff like that. But when it comes to like holding it down, like the group is so well rounded, has some of the best heist members in the city, has some incredible fighters, has some incredible racers and boosters, and just a general like great leadership structure. Kem could probably run Rust without me, with McGregor and Kaiba. And then they have me. But then I'm biased because it's my gang. I mean, it shouldn't matter that much where I place this, but it just, I need to think about it. I would, for now, the thing is, like, I think Rust is more organized than GG. And from my experience with Rust and GG, Rust has some just really clean RPers. So it makes me uncomfortable to put Rust. I want to put Rust here. But then, like, oh, sorry. I can't put it back here. But, like, I want to put it here, but I'd feel like more comfortable doing this. I think. I think that's fair. I don't know. I just think they're more organized than GG. Because they spend a lot of time caring about individual, like, growth. Whereas GG has a very strong core group, but doesn't care for the, like, smaller, like, growing people as much as Rust does, right? But then again, I'm biased, right? For the people that are saying Rust is a mess, I don't think it is. You should see the email chains that we have set up. It is so organized. We literally have documents for spreadsheets for Excel. We have, like, listings for stuff. Guys, remember, the server is an RP server. The fact that they, like, collide against each other. Like, I was in a call with Kaiba today, Bucket, and he's like, Ray, I love the internal conflict that we have as a group. It leads to good RP. But I think we're too new to throw us. But I'd prefer this. Yeah, I'd say this. This is more fair. There we go. Much better. I think this is fine. I think that we're still growing. I think eventually we will be to the point where we're A. But I don't think we've reached there yet. I think the OGs of the city deserve the A tier more that have stuck around and stayed strong. Yeah. I think this is good. I would say this is my general speaking when it comes to, like, RP mixed with combat prowess, mixed with everything. Can anyone tell me who's in S class? This is the police force. Due to the overwhelming amount of people. Like, at the end of the day, the police will always have the best, like, they literally have their own bubble of RP. And Chang Gang is literally the strongest gang in the city, right? I put CB as S tier. I disagree. S tier in terms of RP, yes, but it's a gang tier list after all, like, right? And we don't really fight wars. We don't really have, like, combat scenes, right? What we do, we're very strong, but we don't pursue conflict. It's not a thing we do. Then why is he been a gang tier list? I don't know. Let's just ignore the fact this is called a gang tier. Let's just call it, imagine this is a group tier list. I think this is a good list. I would say this is solid. But anyway, this is more for content, guys. So please don't get triggered. I know a lot of people like have different preferences where people would go, right? But at the end of the day, like this is what I think right now at the current moment in time the server's at, right? Yeah, I would say that's good. But then again, remember, I'm biased with GG and Rust because I've seen their RP a lot. So don't forget, you guys. And I'm biased with CB because I'm a member of Cleanboys, right? Maybe people see different stuff differently. And, you know, I'm not a member of the Wastelander, so I can't see for, you know, remember, guys, I'm not a member of all these groups, so I can't really say anything. A lot of people are saying they put Vagos a lot lower. The amount of respect I have for Vagos is insane. If they are 100% an A tier gang. 100%. They are literally some of the, like, incredible RPers. One of the most OG gangs in the city. Do you think Rust would ever reach A tier eventually? Yeah, yeah. I think with construction and after we've settled in a little bit more with our finances, we'll be a lot better. I think Rust right now, what we have that's good is organization, a clear command structure, clear understandings, the needs of every single member, because we have such a small group. Like we have like a small but active group. So there's always a lot of people around. So I fully understand like all the main members. I know what their issues are. I know their concerns. I know how they want to improve their RP. Like it's awesome. Which I'm the leader, right? It's difficult for someone to do that, right? But yeah. I definitely think so. I think GG will definitely be A tier eventually too. I think they're gonna get to the point where they get like a ton of like core members that just will continue improving together, right? Yeah. All right. I think this is good. I'll just print screen it and post it on my Discord. All right, chat. Hopefully, I didn't piss too many people off or whatever. I thought it was fun. Remember, it's just for content, guys. Please don't take it too seriously. Obviously, everyone has their preferences. It's a tier list. Who cares? I did this because we reached the goal. And it changes literally every day. All right. Ray, why is the GSF an A tier? Those guys are cracked. Those guys are a different level. Probably the best street fighting team in the city. Besides Chang Gang.